presents the Big Three Playoffs. This Sunday, the remaining 4 teams battle to make the championship in the most physical, fierce, and competitive basketball league in the world. The action starts with the Big Three Monster Energy Celebrity Game. Then Dwight Howard and his LA Riot take on Montrezl Harrell and Dr. J Chicago Triplets. The finale will see popular Miami 305 with stars MVP Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson take on Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power. Who will make it to the Big Three Championship? The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, only on CBS.
KFI AM 640. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the iHeartRadio app, and there is so much to cover from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C., to the Tesla Diner here in L.A., to Del Taco here in Southern California, self-checkout in grocery stores, whether there might be an alcohol allowance component to it, so much. And last night I ran home and I put on Hulu just as soon as I could so I could watch the first 2 episodes of the new Hulu/FX show, Alien Earth. We'll have a formal review in the second hour, but here's a quick preview. It was effing great. It was great. 2 episodes of a total 8, but the first 2, they were great, Mark Ronner. They were great.
I saw the first one and liked it, got high hopes for the second one. I didn't want to just gorge on them both. I wanted to savor them, so I only watched one last night.
I would have rather watched all 8 in one sitting because it was cinematic quality and the story was tight enough where I would have wanted to enjoy all of it at once. I wouldn't be, put it this way, I wouldn't have been surprised if they made it into a movie and said, no, let's go ahead and break this up and make it into a series. That, what I saw, and I'll talk about it later in the next hour, that could have been in a movie theater, and I would have paid to see it.
It's really promising, and I say that after being disappointed with pretty much every single Alien thing since the second movie, Aliens. They've all been disappointing in some way.
They have. And even you have the non-canonical movies of Alien versus Predator.
Trash.
You don't know what is or is not canon. You don't know what is serious because it seemed like, okay, they're not even trying to be serious. Alien has always been serious. Then you had Alien versus Predator and it seemed like it was a joke. This is back to the serious Alien and really taut storytelling. But we'll get into all that. And I don't know if even Tawala's seen it yet. I'd be very disappointed if he hasn't.
I have not. But I told Mark last night because it actually looks frightening and scary. And I said, I'll watch it during the day just in case I need a palate cleanser and can clear my mind of all the madness.
I'm telling you, you're not wrong. And I will say this.
See?
I will say this. They're not hiding anything from you.
Oh, so
okay?
Yeah.
It's not like a slow burn of the first Alien movie. And you don't know what you're dealing with, and eventually you get to see what you're dealing with. Oh, no, you see what you're dealing with from the jump.
Yeah, Tawala, surely you must have a blankie you could wrap around yourself or, somebody whose hand you could hold. I would offer, but...
It's a nightlight.
Okay, well, that's a good start.
Okay. Okay. All right. Pox on all of you.
And did you see the story about the American Airlines passenger who got caught vaping?
Yes.
What an a-hole.
Absolutely.
What an a-hole. And now he's doubling and tripling down on his a-holedness.
But also seeking sympathy for being an a-hole. I can't. Okay.
What, American doesn't supply you with the vapes?
No. He is arguing, as a quick preview, that the flight attendant opened the door, busted in on him, invaded his privacy. Now he's embarrassed. He feels shame. He has some emotional issues, everything but an actual lawsuit. And he's saying that the flight attendant owes him an apology.
Oh, whose side to take on that? First, they take away the peanuts, then you can't vape. What's next?
But I'm saying he admits doing it.
Yeah.
And it's a felony. It's a federal crime to do that. And the flight was only 2 hours long. And he said that he was having a nicotine fit and he couldn't hold out for a 2-hour flight.
I feel so bad. I mean, I'm being victimized because of something that's not even my fault. How dare they impede on my addiction? Oh my, okay.
And I think he's illustrative of the world in which we live right now, especially you millennials and Gen Zers don't have any respect for anything. Yes, you, Robin, you're a Gen Zer, right?
No, I'm a millennial.
What year were you born?
95.
95, isn't that
cusp.
Gen Z? Yeah,
I think the cusp is Kiki's, which is 97.
Okay.
It's all the same. What's it? It's a distinction without a difference.
That's right.
With them.
All entitled, illiterate.
Illiterate.
What else am I looking for? There's got to be more words to add to that.
Uncouth.
All sorts of unwords.
I was gonna say, man, the vape for 2 hours. I understand.
See,
You gotta get it.
Okay. Now, see, I'm glad that you told us in advance. Yeah,
because,
sure.
my nicotine level was not that bad.
Yeah, that's what you say on the radio. But get you on a plane.
But I don't really like going on planes anyways.
Either do I. But I'm not going to go in. They give you the whole speech. Do not tamper with the da-da-da-da-da in the laboratory. You cannot light up because that's a federal offense. They tell you that every flight. And this a-hole decides to go in the bathroom and starts vaping. And by the way, the flight attendant, if they sense that it may be an emergency or you're committing a crime, they can't open that door on you.
Like if they think you're joining the Mile High Club, they can just bust right in.
Yes, they can.
That's actually their job.
And have that.
Goodness, these young people, I don't know what to do with them. But we have a huge show tonight, and yes, I'll have a final thought, and it's going to be connected to the lack of shame, the lack of understanding and appreciation of hypocrisy in our politics. So much to cover. When we come back, I'm going to get into Curren Price, LA City Council, and also the latest charges that they hit him with. Not the original charges, not like the original 10. We're talking about 2 more. Superseding indictments. It's like, take that with you. Here's one more while you go. LA City Council, they never disappoint. KFI AM 640, we're live everywhere, the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly here. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And I know that everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. People usually forget that. They're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But that is a legal status. That doesn't mean that we can't, in the court of public opinion, form our own opinions. I don't need someone to be convicted of something for me to feel that someone might be a crook. And that's irrespective of office, irrespective of title. It does not matter. For example, and I always like to use this as an example, O.J. Simpson was acquitted in the murder trial of Ron and Nicole. In the eyes of the law, he was found not guilty, he was innocent, and he was not proven guilty in a court of law. Now, we as people, lay people, can say, yeah, I know he's dead and everything, but you can say, I still think O.J. did it. All right. So there's a distinction to be made for us what the legal classification of someone is and how we may view that person. And in talking about the LA City Council, there is a mix of how we feel about the corruption, and there have been criminal charges and convictions related to that corruption. There's Jose Huizar, indicted on bribery and other federal charges, including racketeering, and he ended up pleading guilty to tax evasion and abuse of office, sentenced to 13 years in prison. Mitch Englander, convicted of obstruction of justice and sentenced to prison for obstructing a corruption probe. Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas, he was convicted of bribery and conspiracy. You might remember in that case related to his son and benefits he received from USC. That was all before Curren Price. And Curren Price had at least 5 different felony counts of embezzlement of government funds, 3 felony counts of perjury, and 2 felony counts of conflict of interest in a partridge in a pear tree. He previously has pleaded not guilty. That was prior to yesterday, where county prosecutors Nathan Hochman's office, filed 2 new public corruption charges against Curren Price. And I assume that he said he was not guilty. But if convicted, Curren Price could face up to 11 years and 4 months in prison, up to 9 years and 4 months in state prison, and 2 years in county jail, because these charges are local, state, and federal. I don't know, in a legal sense, going back to what I was saying before, whether Curren Price is guilty. I don't know that he is guilty. But I do know I am old enough to remember a time in which politicians, elected officials, knew the value of shame. Shame, on one hand, protects us from not doing certain things. In other words, like when I do my show, I don't want to do anything to embarrass my mother who's listening right now. That would bring shame upon me if I did something that she thought was embarrassing or was shameful to her. Shame oftentimes prevents us from doing things, going too far. Well, that doesn't exist anymore. There was a time in which hypocrisy meant something. In other words, if you were found doing something that you supposedly were against, hypocrisy, along with shame, usually led to people resigning, stepping down, removing themselves from office, having nothing to do with the legal process. Those days are over. Those days are over. And I hear from people all the time, it's like, why don't you talk about this person? Or why don't you talk about that person? And I tell people, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You know, it doesn't matter how many previous council people have gone to jail. There are still people engaging in questionable behavior, possibly illegal behavior on LA City Council. Why? Because shame doesn't matter. It used to be if you were charged with so many crimes like this, you would step down because you knew that you would not be able to faithfully complete the duties of the office. You could not fight some 11 different charges, federal, state, and county, and also do your job at the same time. Can you actually serve your constituents and then fight all these other charges, the other 2 hours of the day? No, it's just not feasible. It's not possible. But we live in a time now, so long as the other guy is the person who's charged with something, that's enough. And the people who are charged don't feel any real shame to step down. Of course, you can liken this to President Trump and then former President Trump. He's never accepted blame for anything. He would never resign. He would never step down for anything that he might have done. And I think that has been employed by just about everyone now. Who is actually going to resign? Who's going to step down? It doesn't matter how many charges. It doesn't matter how much evidence may be levied against you. And to be fair, Curren Price says that he's innocent, and he says that the charges are baseless, and it's just yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But if I were on city council, and I were charged with the litany of crimes and corruption here, I would feel compelled, for the sake of my family, to step down. And then I could have my day in court. And then allow the city council, and by extension the city, the ability to move on. Because clearly whatever I've done has distracted the city council and impacts my ability to fulfill my duties. And there's also other blame here as far as the city council, as far as not removing Curren Price. I don't know all the steps involved, but there's something that they can do because they did it with Mark Ridley Thomas. So it comes down to, we live in a time where it doesn't matter what elected officials do. And I'm not talking about throw Hillary in jail. I'm talking about actual charges. Someone's been arraigned. Someone has gone before a judge and made a plea. And in this case, multiple pleas. Where you would think in a time in which shame meant something, it's like, this is a time for me to step aside so I can handle this business and not further cloud the integrity and further lose the public trust, further sully the office of LA City Council. That doesn't happen anymore. No one's stepping down. And even if he gets convicted, he's not stepping down. How do I know? Mark Ridley Thomas, who I know personally, who I've known for more than 20 years. So I'm not talking about this in the abstract. I ran into Mark Ridley Thomas about a year and a half ago. We shook hands. He knows what I say about him, and he doesn't take it personally. He knows it's part of the job. I'm still friends with his son. You know, we follow each other on social media. This is not personal, but I can say I'm speaking from a knowledgeable point of view where I dealt with these individuals. I know these individuals, and I know that they should be better than this. And I know that we, as the voting public, should require more of our elected officials. But here's the thing. If you don't require more of the people that you yourself voted for, then it doesn't matter. You can't only say, well, I want the Democrats to step down, or I want the Democrats to be held accountable. I want them to throw the book at the Democrats. Curren Price and Jose Huizar and Mark Ridley Thomas, they all need to go to jail. It's the same freaking Justice Department. You can't have it both ways. You can't. Now, I know with Curren Price, there are, county DA charges, and you have state charges, and you have federal charges. But as far as the federal racketeering and the bribes and the corruption, it's the same DOJ. It's the exact same. We don't require more of our elected officials, then we're not going to get more. If we don't hold our elected officials to a higher personal and moral standard, then you can't ask it or expect it of the other folks, the other guys, the folks you just don't like. And you can say, well, why do we keep electing these people? You got to put up better candidates. I hate Gavin Newsom. Hey, Tuala, who's running against Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom's not running, but I'm saying who's running to be governor? Sheriff Bianco.
Is he though?
Well,
is he?
I was very somewhat impolitely reaching out to him on social media, and I'm saying, Sheriff Bianco, you're not serious. You're not even going all the way around the state as far as campaigning. You're not even speaking to the people that you need as voters.
I've only seen him speaking to the people in Orange County. And
Hello,
I'm confused. There have been no big pushes for his campaign outside of his backyard.
Nope.
And I don't know what's happening.
Like I said, not everyone's actually running to win that office. And if and when the Democratic nominee wins and becomes governor of California, you have no one to blame but yourself, Republicans, because you're not putting up serious candidates. Steve Hilton, okay, he was on Fox News. Can he win a statewide race in California? Absolutely not.
The guest that we had on, isn't she flirting with the idea? Elaine Kaludi?
Yes.
Culiati? Yes. I've heard her flirting with the idea. Which is interesting.
You actually have to campaign. You actually have to go to places like Oakland and San Francisco, the places who you think would not normally vote for you. You have to actually ask for people's votes. And still, there's no Republican candidate in for mayor of Los Angeles. So this is a multifaceted issue. Are we getting the best candidates? No. And when you don't get the best candidates, you get candidates who are corrupt. You get people who are incompetent or don't have the expertise or the experience to actually be a governor or a city council person or a senator. But if you're only concerned with the other guys being taken down, well, you get what you get. Shame is a very, very valuable tool. The moral high ground can be a very, very valuable tool, but there are requirements to it. You know, it's kind of hard to shame Curren Price if you're voting for people who are just as corrupt. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay, this is an either or. Which would you rather? Tawala, I think you might be partial to Taco Bell because you worked there at once upon a time. Taco Bell or Del Taco?
Oh, Taco Bell all day.
Okay.
Between the two?
Yeah. Mark Ronner, Taco Bell or Del Taco?
I haven't eaten at Del Taco enough to make a choice there, but boy, if Taco Bell is your default, you're in trouble.
I'm just saying, I'm comparing, oranges and mandarin oranges. Okay,
I don't know what's
the same
with
group.
This, Taco Bell disrespect, though. I mean, that was uncalled for.
Do I have to spell this out?
Yes, you do.
Hang on a second. Vamp for a second. I was in the middle of a mouthful.
Robin, Taco Bell or Del Taco?
For sure, Del Taco.
For sure?
For sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taco Bell always did me wrong.
And what do you mean by that?
It doesn't agree with you?
Yeah, no, it really doesn't.
I actually prefer taste-wise Taco Bell. Menu items and more stuff that I probably would eat, Del Taco.
I can agree with that.
Because for a while, Taco Bell took away the Mexican pizza, and that pissed me off.
Yeah. They brought it back, and it's not the same. Good. It's like, ugh.
The reason I'm talking about this is because Del Taco is celebrating its Southern California roots, and they're going to be offering bigger burritos, big ass burritos.
I'm down with that.
You got my attention.
Okay. Because we know you're burrito boy.
What?
Don't you always like burritos?
No more than average. I don't think it's one of my defining traits.
I don't know, burrito boy.
Occasion.
Okay, if you got to latch on to something, go ahead.
Well, Del Taco.
You want to latch them to a burrito, huh?
Well, who doesn't?
Founded in the 1960s in Yermo, California, is back to its roots with new menu innovations, and now it's based in Lake Forest, and they're going back to its classic burritos, but larger in size. Okay? They want to distinguish themselves as having a higher quality food and more food for the dollar. A $5 Clásico box includes the big ass burrito, a mini quesadilla, crinkle cut fries, and a 16-ounce soft drink for just $5. A $7 Mex Faves box includes the big ass burrito, a grilled chicken taco, a soft snack taco, fries, and a drink.
Are they calling it the big ass burrito?
No.
They should.
It's the burrito, and I just gave them that for free.
Yeah, they should. They should use that.
A $9 Amerimex box includes a double Del cheeseburger. See, that's the thing about Del Taco. They serve a little bit of everything. They call it Del Taco, but they got cheeseburgers. I think they even got hot dogs. They got a little bit of everything in there.
For a minute, they were selling that stew. You know how to roll the R's. The
What stew?
Birria.
Birria.
Oh, that stuff's good. There's a great birria truck in my neighborhood.
Yeah, they were selling that at Del Taco, and it was going crazy.
By the way, do you want to circle back to what my problem was before I was able to swallow that mouthful of food with Taco Bell stuff?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Their beef in their burritos is only 88% beef. 12% of it is other.
You're saying Taco Bell specifically?
Yeah.
Oh, so what is Del Taco, Mr. Meat aficionado?
I don't eat there often enough to know.
Oh, well, don't cherry.
Don't
cherry pick the facts. Look it up.
I'm not cherry picking anything. I'm telling you that was my.
You had to look up the 88% on Taco Bell.
You cannot throw these slanderous.
It's not slander if it's true.
Okay, you cannot throw out these insulting remarks for one side.
A fact isn't an insulting remark.
Look, you are leaning heavily
88%
on facts that only support your.
Okay, now what is it for Del Taco?
Okay, well, let's find out.
Yes.
Mr. Intrepid Reporter. Click, click, clack, clack.
I'm only going to talk about Taco Bell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do both, sir.
I see no reporting that there's any adulteration of Del Taco's.
Where's the beef?
You know why?
Now, if you find out something different, let me know, but I'm not seeing anything.
Del Taco's nutrition guide for August shows classic burritos weigh about 9 to 12 ounces, a couple of ounces more than other places, and epic burritos weigh a lot more, 14 ounces to a pound. I don't want to eat that much.
Are the epic ones the big ass ones?
I guess so.
Okay.
Those are good. Yeah, those are good.
Fries are also a core item at Del Taco. Quote, we went back to our origin story in the high desert of Southern California, where Ed Hackbarth combined American items, burgers, fries, and shakes, with Mexican items, tacos and burritos, that together made an unexpected combination. We're using our origin story for our current proposition with the unexpected combination of a Merry Mex, as in American and Mexican flavors.
Okay, Mark. Here is a more detailed breakdown of the Del Taco beef.
Yes.
First, they brown the beef, taking lean ground beef that is brown, likely to develop flavor and texture. Then they process this meat. The brown meat is then pulsed in a food processor to achieve the desired consistency. Added ingredients, they add thickeners, beef fat, water, tomato paste, and a blend of authentic seasons.
Oh, so it's ultra processed.
Yes, and then they add texturized vegetable protein
yummy.
To give it a little more thickness. They simmer all that together.
It's like a
and
BBL.
Then they add other proteins.
More thickness.
Just other proteins. So you're going to eat that meat paste.
What is it you think you just proved? Explain that, please.
I'm telling you, Mr. Taco Bell's only got 88% meat. You know what they got is at least 88% meat and some filler. This is straight meat mush. They put it in a blender and then they add some thickening substance and then say, here's your meat.
Do you think we could eat that with a straw? Because
we probably could.
With a straw.
We probably could drink it.
I don't know. But, that's one of the reasons why I don't eat at either anymore. And that goes back to Robin's point. I liked Taco Bell back in the day, but it did disagree with me on more than one occasion. And the sodium content is out of this world.
Yeah, Yo quiero absorbent toilet paper.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you, one of the only times I've even been to Del Taco here is when I was coming out of work. Everything was closed. You know what time I get out of here. And I was just desperate for food. So I went to one near the prostitute Ralph's near my place. And they were closing, but the guy took pity on me and he made me a burrito. And I swear to God, he just took everything that was still left lying around and jammed it into a burrito. I think there were tater tots in there, just all sorts of random things. And
That's not wrong.
I was grateful for the guy because it's like, well, don't throw all those odds and ends away. But at the same time, it was a low point of my life. I can't lie.
Yeah, I have a taste for it every now and then, but not actually going to see it through. Like, for example, I had a taste for some Der Wiener Schnitzel, and I actually got Der Wiener Schnitzel for the first time in at least 9 years because I haven't had it since I've been married.
Oh, today's the day they've got the 4 chili dogs for $4.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not going there for discounter price. I'm just going there because they can charge me $8 for it. It doesn't matter.
Eat those in the shower, by the way.
I had 3 hot dogs. I had 2 chili dogs and 1 corn dog. Tasted wonderful.
But
correct.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 is Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. It may be grand opening, grand closing for the Tesla diner. Already having serious issues and problems. We told you about the neighborhood noise complaints. Its screens are obstructing views. People could not drive through there because of the traffic. And now, just weeks after its grand opening, the Tesla diner has already slashed its menu down to almost nothing, 5 items total. And Mark, I don't know if you heard this. Remember how it's supposed to be 24/7? Now it's only open from 6 a.m. to midnight-ish.
Well, if you've read about all the recalls of Teslas, this tracks when it comes to a restaurant, doesn't it?
I have to believe that there is some sort of connection with the damage which has been done to the brand of Tesla. You can't say Tesla and not also think of Elon Musk, because that's the way Elon Musk constructed the company, where he was the face of the company and he was the voice of the company. So anything that Elon Musk has to say about anything is going to be connected back to Tesla. And Tesla has had a diminishing sales record. Let me put it that way. Fewer and fewer Teslas have been sold in the past 2 quarters, and that's directly attributable to Musk's expanded political presidents. And I've said I have nothing against the cars. I think they are well-made cars. From the times that I have been in them, I think they're technologically very advanced, and I understand why they are so popular by and large here in California. But you can't also deny that Elon Musk is a stain on the brand. And from the people that I've talked to, there have been more than just a few grumblings about trying to move him out as president and CEO. But the Tesla diner, the concept, very cool. A place where you could charge your car. And of course, if you're charging your car, you can't charge your car as quickly as you would maybe get a tank of gas. But if you're going to hang out for 30 minutes or to an hour, you can get some food, stretch your legs, and maybe sit down and hang out for a bit in the way that you would a Starbucks. It's a great idea. Now, the execution may leave a little something to be desired when you think of the traffic problems which they're having, and also, I'll say, the ill-conceived placement of it where you're right next to apartment buildings and you're blocking the view, so the neighbors are not going to readily embrace you. I think those are some things should have been better planned out. But, yeah, it's not looking good for the Tesla diner.
Let's go enjoy a meal put on by the guy who threw all those Nazi salutes.
Well, yeah.
Sounds like a great evening.
Well, I'm quite sure that has something to do with it as well. And also what was originally being sold or how it was billed is not being delivered. Originally, it was supposed to be open to also non-Tesla vehicles to be charged. And the conflicting reports about whether that is available to non-Tesla EVs to use as a charging station. So now they have, what does it say? They have just a few items on the menu. You can get a Tesla burger, hot dog.
Okay.
Maybe they brand like a big T in it or something. I don't know. The Tesla burger, hot dog, grilled cheese, tuna melt, or a fried chicken sandwich. Also fries. That's it. That is it. So they have, they used to have like a maple glazed breakfast meat, called Epic Bacon. That's off the menu. They've taken off the fountain drink options like the Shirley Temple and the Creamsicle. Now it's just bare bones. And it's also being reported. This is coming from Fortune magazine, so it's not like it's a rinky-dink website. Fortune is reporting that they've also slashed at least half of its staff. This is just weeks in. What was the economic forecasting model for this? That you wouldn't make it through October?
They put the Doge guys. I think Big Balls is in charge of the restaurant, right?
No. Big Balls is on the mend right now.
Oh, okay.
He had an unfortunate accident at 3 a.m., allegedly, supposedly, while doing something he probably wasn't supposed to be doing.
Well, I wish him well.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it right. I don't know how sincere it was, but you said it correctly.
It was absolutely every bit as sincere as deserved.
And actually, I did want to check out the Tesla diner. Not that I own a Tesla. I just wanted to see it. I never had a chance to get over there. But I like the idea. I like the concept, but it's not going over well at this point.
Well, there's something here that's kind of similar that I know Tawala has partaken of, which is the Galpin place that has the horseless carriage diner that it seemed counterintuitive to me when I moved here, but everybody I know who's tried it says that's great.
We have these pop-up locations. We have these themed restaurants. I'm for all of that. But we live in such a sensitive time. There's no way for me that you can separate Tesla Diner from Tesla Motors from Elon Musk.
It seems like a Tesla Diner should have like a flaming platter that they serve you, doesn't it?
There's a joke there. I just don't want.
There's nothing funny about it.
No,
don't laugh.
I know.
Too soon. Too soon.
Not coming behind Nazi salutes. I can't do that.
Well, we didn't do it.
No, I'm just never mind. I can't put certain jokes together.
Maybe you can get the Sieg ham sandwich.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Mark. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere. The iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
iHeart presents the Big Three Playoffs. This Sunday, the remaining 4 teams battle to make the championship in the most physical, fierce, and competitive basketball league in the world. The action starts with the Big Three Monster Energy Celebrity Game. Then Dwight Howard and his LA Riot take on Montrezl Harrell and Dr. J Chicago Triplets. The finale will see popular Miami 305 with stars MVP Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson take on Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power. Who will make it to the Big Three Championship? The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, only on CBS.